Dear merciful Lord Kromdar, deliver me from this dolphin menace, and into the arms and bosoms of thick women. Praise be unto your name. Amen. Okay. I don't think they're interested anymore. They've had enough time to cool down. I'm gonna try getting into the ocean and see if they attack me. Oh shit! Oh shit! Are they coming at me? You still mad? You still mad? What about now? You know what you did. Big wet bitch. What about you? You know I'm the king of the ocean, right? You want to maybe consummate our alliance and breed a race of aquatic super children? No? No, that's okay. That's alright. She wanted it. Where's the shelters that I built? Where's the air bubbles? There's one of them. Still so crazy how far down that is. I'm so used to the shitty shallow depth of the tropical base. But when I see an actual deep ocean, it's really weird. Let me go down there. Dolphins can't fuck me down here, he said before dolphins fucked him. Like 3 seconds legit before it happened. Come at me, brah! For Emperor Zidon, King of the Broshan. That's a new joke. That's a fresh joke. You haven't heard that one before. So I found out the fuck. Tridents are called trilushkas in India, and they're actually a weapon that's used both in war and for spearfishing. This is an educational channel now. So I escaped the dolphins only to be fucked by the oh fuck. Oh fuck. I've not escaped the dolphins. Disregard what I said 1 second ago. There's that turtle that turned down my sexual advances. Where did my there it is. I need to put a torch inside that shelter so I can see it. That dolphin is not giving up. Could you please? Okay, let's see. Could you fuck off? He's still angry. For some reason. I didn't do nothing. I'm a good boy. Let's see. Should I do what I did? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do what I did last time and make it like this. Yeah, I feel good about making it here. It's a little closer to a rock structure than I wanted. But that means that making a small moonpool module here won't be too cramped for the rest of the base. I don't like the pieces to be too close to underwater rock formations. I can destroy this one now, I think. Doesn't it seem like 90% of what I do while I'm down here is just fight underwater zombies? These are a bit too plentiful. Oh, I can fast swim upwards. Uh-oh. God, my eye itches. Hold on. Oh no! It's the kind of eye itch where you itch it and it gets even worse. Oh no! Does this game's fuckery know no limits? I've heard of being hecking bamboozled before, but this is ridiculous. And then there should be one shelter down there that I can still use. Wow, I'm fucking deep as shit. I want to live down there. I want to be where the fishes are. I want to stroke them and tenderly romance them. Yeah, remember how Troy McClure had a fish fetish in The Simpsons? I feel like that's going to be the final frontier of social justice, because it's weird enough where literally almost anything else is more acceptable. Is it? Yeah, I want to say, because like fish are not even... They're not even mammals. They're too different from us. So, before Netflix was a thing, did people Blockbuster and chill? Was that a thing people did? Is they invited dates over on the pretense of watching a Blockbuster tape? And then just fucking raw dog them? What if there's an alternate universe somewhere where Blockbuster is the company that pioneered on-demand video streaming, and so we have Blockbuster and chill, but it's like a streaming video service. Look at all the shit I had to build just in order to get an underwater shelter with one block of air where I wanted it. Where it had to go. Just so that I could fucking build my single little humble pod. This is what a bitch it is to work underwater without the gear that you need. Could you please not? Did I fuck up? I feel like I fucked up. I'm pretty sure I fucked up. He just fucking Sonic speeds right by me. Dolphins don't give a shit. These were not supposed... What the fuck? No, I want it. I want it, and I got it. I got the Nautilus shell. These were supposed to be... these things. It'd probably be easier just to continue building the pod and then replace these after I have some air to stand in, but whatever. You know, I don't care that much. I care a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm a good person. I would say I'm a balanced person. That's only like halfway a joke, too, because... I mean, think about it. I don't think we're here just to be... If you try to be purely kind, it's going to take a lot out of you, and it's not even going to be real kindness. It's going to be fake kindness because you're trying to meet a quota. I don't think anybody should be evil, but I think they should let themselves have an outlet for their frustration and other negative emotions now and then. So you don't turn into fucking Minnesota Lutherans or worse, Mormons. Like every photo of you looks like a glamour shots photo of a white family in the 90s. I'm gonna die. I'm for sure gonna die. Nope, I only lost 3 hearts. Not to do a bed. How come Italians are the only people on Earth who don't complain about racial caricatures of them? Is it because they know everybody's jelly? Because their food is so good and their women are so hot, and their men are like big hairy love machines, allegedly, according to a friend of mine. Yeah, I fucking hate you. What's up? You stupid piece of shit. I hate your dumb face. I didn't mean that. Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of meant that. Look at what a fucking bother it is to get even the tiniest amount of underwater living space. And I know what that's like. Having built a diving helmet and various other underwater gadgets before, suspending any amount of air long-term underwater is a bitch. And shockingly expensive. Even for a very small amount of air. Unless it's literally just like a jar that you tape to a dumbbell. Because air is just fucking buoyant. It wants to rise. So for every cubic foot of it, you need 64 pounds of weight. It's got to be lead if you want the weight part of it to be compact. Otherwise, you're going to have this huge... You basically have a whole second jar just full of weights otherwise. You need it to be dense. It sucks. It's why submarines are so hard to engineer. Because they have to be heavy so they sink. But they also have to be streamlined and compact and not have huge weights hanging off of them. Everything has to be integrated into the body of the sub, which means they have to calculate exactly how to balance the exact amount of buoyancy from the trapped air in the sub and how to against the amount of weight from the metal and the ballast weight materials. And then they got to weigh that against making sure that at a certain level of fullness, the ballast tanks make the sub exactly neutrally buoyant so that it can hover at a given depth, but that it's not so buoyant that they can't make it negatively buoyant so it can sink, but it's not so heavy that they can't get enough air in the ballast tanks to make it rise. It's almost fucking rocket surgery. I'd like some surgery performed on my rocket. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I would like the testicluster option where they add like an additional 10 testicles into your sack. Don't turn your nose up at it. You haven't seen it yet. It's majestic. I wept a tear the first time I saw it. Also because the surgeon accidentally left the scalpel in there. But you know, we're all human. Most of us anyway. Not Trump, but most of us are human. I do honestly regret voting Libertarian. Somewhat. I mean, I thought the most important thing was to have a viable third party, and that's still the long-term solution our country needs. But I wouldn't have done it if I thought there was any chance Trump would actually win. It's actually kind of disillusioned me with democracy. Now, I understand the problems with any kind of totalitarian government if humans are in control, but I sort of subscribe to the idea that one day there will be conscious AI. And we'll be better off having an AI that's totally in charge of everything, because even if, and I know what you're thinking, but then whoever programs the AI gets to decide the rules for the rest of us, and that's true. But even if it's an evil person, the AI would at least govern consistently. It would not govern according to its emotions. So we have less to fear from an artificial intelligence being in control than we do from a human. Because it doesn't have prejudice, except what's programmed into it. It doesn't have hate. It doesn't have mood swings. It doesn't have jealousy. That's kind of the same reasoning behind robot policemen and RoboCop. The idea was that a policeman that's a robot would be able to apply the law with perfect consistency. It would not have anything like racial bias. Probably it would still be accused of racial bias, though. Just because if it happened to arrest more poor people on average because they're committing more crimes, there would be probably certain unsavory patterns in that we'd like to ignore. And it would be argued that that's because of bias. That actually already happens. There's a computer program that's used to calculate people's credit scores based on where they live and based on their past credit history. And it's been accused of being racist because it approves white people and Asians vastly more often than it approves African Americans. Okay, I think I need to go get dirt. I think my home base is this way. How cold is that though? Imagine being an African American father and being told that the family you're trying to start, you can't get your fucking mortgage because a computer decided that you weren't going to be trustworthy enough to pay back the money. Could you not literally surface in my boat, you dolphin piece of shit? These dolphins are like the natives that I have to exterminate. This is underwater manifest destiny is what it is. Because I'm a typical cis hetero white male, and apparently that's all we do is kill innocent native populations. But we're damn good at it, though. You gotta love what you do. Fuck you. I expected there to be a zombie behind me riding my ass. I'm still kind of shocked there wasn't. I need to put this inside. I'm gonna need... I don't need this. I'm gonna store this here for now. It's kind of precious because I'm gonna need a bunch of these to make what I want to. I'm gonna make one workbench. And I'm gonna make one oven just to have the basic stuff there. I'm basically starting all over, you realize. It's like, how's that for kicking the ass, though? Like, you do everything society tells you to. You even do what racists tell you to. You're all like, you know, black fathers don't take care of their kids. And you fucking take care of your kids. You live up to everything. Just trying to have the same life everybody else gets promised as part of the American dream. And then a fucking computer decides that you're not trustworthy. That could be all of us. How long until we're all poor because of automation and there's computers that decide whether or not we get a shot at living in wherever the fucking rich people live, like Elysium, and they rig it so that it's impossible to get in or some shit. Probably that's more believable than far-fetched. Okay, one of the trees grew. Again, only one of the trees grew. This is the good news is it has space to grow in this direction. So I might be able to grow them even further apart. Will that fix it? If I grow them, I feel like it won't, because they would need a lot more space than that. But I also feel like it might. I'm picturing it like that scene from The Office where he's talking to his boss, and his boss has clearly never, or it's been so long since he was in a position where he was getting shit on by his own boss that he just doesn't care about the lives of people under him anymore. And he feels like there's a total separation, like they're just different species, and that you're just a worthless puke if you work under him. Imagine that, but it's a machine. And it's not even that it looks down on you, just that it doesn't have a concept of your existence as a human being that has its own dignity and its own desires and dreams. And it just does a cold and brutal calculation of what you're worth and decides you're not worth loaning money to. So I saw a paper recently that said that in the 21st century, the dominant form of construction is going to be on the ocean just because all other land is owned already. So the primary economic opportunities for large-scale construction are going to be floating concrete structures for extra economic activity, which is to say economic activity outside of the economic zones of major governments. That basically translates into we can expect a whole lot of floating structures to be built as ways for extremely rich people to get around taxes and human rights laws. Which sounds kind of metal to me, but then that just means we're all going to be applying to go live on the rich people mega yachts. That's all it is. It's an extension of rich people owning yachts. Now they're going to own yachts the size of entire islands. And they're only going to let you go live there if you're going to be one of their wait staff. And then you have to get in line and apply and hope that you get approved after it calculates how much you're worth and how trustworthy you are. That was the only thing Elysium got wrong, is probably we still won't have giant space stations 100 years from now. The rich people didn't get rich by spending more money than they had to. They're only going to spend as much as they absolutely have to be safe from poor people. Which means they're going to move out onto the ocean, or maybe underground bunkers. I don't think space stations, though. That'd be too cool, and I subscribe to the what I call the rule of boring, which is to say things are almost never more exciting than they need to be, because exciting costs money. Someone has to pay for that. So we could all be traveling around in Futurama-style tubes, but we're not, because that's not necessary and it's expensive. We could all have flying cars, but that'd be more expensive, and it would cost a lot in order to get them regulated properly to where the government would even allow it. Could you... this fucking zombie. God damn it. And I'm not even getting one sapling from this rotting tree. How can I not even get one sapling? Anyway, I'm going to plant these a little bit further apart. I'm going to see if that helps. I wonder if people will live underwater in the future. I've covered the expense and difficulty of establishing large underwater structures, but what if they live in individual, like, homesteads? What if, like they used to, the government starts paying people to homestead regions that nobody wants to live in, so they can farm that land for everybody else's benefit? Like, very few people would want to live underwater, but if you lived underwater in order to increase the productivity of an offshore farm, you might expect some subsidies from the government for that, because there would be an increasing demand for protein, for meat from the developing world, but you wouldn't want everybody to be eating chicken or beef because of the environmental cost. If you get them to eat mariculturally farmed fish and crustaceans and things, maybe. Dark Life is a good young adult novel about... Yes, I read young adult novels. I'm not too proud to admit that. It's a good novel about that kind of future, but I heard that Disney was making it into a movie and Robert Zemeckis was directing, but I have no idea if it's still happening or not. I don't know what became of that. There's no news about it. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. I'm not getting any saplings from this, so I'm going to have to get more from land. God fucking damn it. Nothing's going... That's not true. Some things are going my way. Some things are going my way. Like, for example, today I got in the mail a certificate, gift certificate for an entire free cheese pizza. Not a slice, an entire pizza. Which can feed a family of one for several days. What do you mean one person isn't family? Don't make you. Are you trying to make me cry? Are you trying to make me cry? You don't want that. It's really ugly. It's like when I found out SpongeBob has been on since 1999, and I realized my own mortality. I kind of wish I hadn't built so close to a landmass, but I also fucking had to. And expanding this way, like the opposite direction I'm boating from, will give me a lot of room to expand. Expanding from the edge also means it's not such a big deal that I'm starting with a small module, because I won't have to build around that little ass module. It'll be on the edge of the colony. And also, I'll have a place I can easily swim up to in order to get more stuff from land, which I'll need to for a little while. I don't relish the thought, but it is what it is. I'm going to get to where I was before pretty soon. I'm going to get to where I can meet all my needs from underwater. And it's going to be nice being this deep in a big open ocean instead of that cramped little, I want to say it's a lagoon. Uh-oh. Which direction was my shelter? Which direction was my shelter? Oh, there it is. It's really not good to get disoriented underwater. It's almost like this is why scuba divers wear those compasses on their wrist or something. Using my brain, thinking thoughts. It leads to pain. My head hurts. No more thinking for today. See what a fucking bitch this is? And here's the fucking asshole from before. It's like, this is the neighbor you don't want when you live underwater. What would that be like? Like, instead of having large, luxurious underwater colonies like in science fiction, what if every family just had a habitat with like 4 rooms? That was all their living space. Would they have like little submarines, little submersibles? What would the point of a submersible be if you're living in an ambient pressure structure? Except, I guess, to give you a vehicle for long distance travel that would be dry inside, so you wouldn't have to swim everywhere, or use one of those wet vehicles where you're still in water, but it's faster than swimming. There was a really cheesy musical, family type program movie called Hello Down There from the '60s. Being that it's from the '60s, there's a fucking load of songs. They're just like hippie flower child songs in it. Like the main feature of the film is songs that I would not want to listen to once, let alone multiple times. The main song of the film, which is Hello Goldfish or something like that, is played like 3 times throughout the film, and it's several minutes long each time. And by the end, you're just praying for the sweet release of death that does not come. Other than that, though, it was pretty cool. It was made during the time when Jacques Cousteau's conch shelf experiments were happening frequently and getting more ambitious with every repetition. So it really seemed like we were all going to be living underwater in like 5 to 10 years. So it was about a family who there's the dad of the family who was the breadwinner because this was the '60s, was competing to impress his boss with a coworker, and his coworker's plan was to vacuum up gold particulate from the seafloor to generate profits, and the main character's competing plan was to settle the ocean floor on the continental shelf by selling people habitats like you would sell a house. No! I swear to God, if you fucking kill me, I can't kill you, you're already dead. Never mind, that was an empty threat. Well played, zombie. Well played. Okay. Just in time for the alarm to run out. Or the time to run out. I've finally fucking accomplished what I set out to. Which is to establish this little pod. I'm going to clear this out, light it up, put the basic equipment down, and destroy that shelter outside. And then it's going to be over. Don't cry, my sweet summer child. There's more to come. There's always more to come. Where am I going to... I'm going to expand this way a little bit, I think, and that way. So I'm going to put my stuff over here. Expand that way. Go. Now start to put some torches up. Where's my fucking fuck ass? Here's my fuck ass. I know it's a cock tease. Don't worry, I'll get to it soon. There we go. And this goes here. Now I can unload some of this shit. Start transferring materials from the old base to the new base. It's really kind of ambitious to call it a base at this stage because it's basically like an underwater homeless hovel. It's like a favela. Can you imagine that? If the future of poverty is people living underwater because the rich people want all the land? So instead of seasteading being something... You know how sushi started out as a food for the poor? It was for dock workers because you can pinch it between two fingers to carry it. It's like the Japanese equivalent of a sandwich. And so instead of the rich people living underwater and the poor people living on land, it's the other way around. Because I think once the novelty ran out of living underwater, you'd get tired of it in a real fucking big hurry. Like whatever's a novelty of one era becomes what the poor people of the next era have to endure. Or is it the other way around? It's hot as shit. It's still hot as shit, even though it's nighttime. It's like 1 in the morning. And I waited until 1 to film this just because it was too warm otherwise. Alright, everything's destroyed. I'm alone down here. I finally have my first outpost in the deep sea, in the true open deep sea. Which should give me some options on how to expand. This is kind of an inopportune place, really. I think I can make the most of it, though. It's an okay place to have expanded to. Is that a fucking zombie already? It is. Of course. Why would I expect anything? Fuck you. No, you don't. God damn. And I can't even grab the tridents, can I? No, I can't. Let me see if I can clear out some of this shit before I quit for the evening. What am I saying? Evening. It's fucking nighttime. And I'll grab some of these blocks. I'm going to use my pickaxe to burrow into that stone and put the sand there so that it doesn't look so shitty. So yeah, free pizza. How do you like that shit? I'm going to do this next time. It's going to take a while. But look at this. I got my pod built. I'm going to look at it from the surface. That's usually what I do at the end of these videos. See how deep it is. Whoa, shit. I really built right in the middle of a kelp forest, didn't I? Jesus, I'm going to have to chop most of that down. I'm being a good capitalist. That's my business plan, is to destroy the natural kelp forests so I can farm kelp and sell it to people. Don't hate the player, hate the game, son.